Hi, everyone. My name is David Fulford, and I'm the CEO of IPAC, and thanks so much for joining us. We're now going to carry on and have some fun. We're going to do some networking, and if you're interested, we're going to do some cooking. Just because we're on the Zoom platform now, if I could just ask everyone to mute and just to stay muted, just it helps with our audio. So I have the pleasure of introducing our distinguished guest for cooking this evening. So Yaprak Baltacioğlu is our Governor General Vanier Medal winner. And when she's not busy as the Chancellor of Carleton University, she's a celebrity chef. And so she has her own Instagram following, and she's going to be doing some cooking for us this evening, which is wonderful. And our partner, Brian Rossborough, who is the Executive Director of the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, has joined us to kick off this session. So Brian, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, David, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I'm really very excited about working with IPAC. I mentioned to David recently that I've been a member of IPAC pretty consistently since I was an MPA student at Dalhousie in, well, I'm afraid to say back in 1989. So when David approached me to discuss a partnership with AMO, I was eager to explore those possibilities, in part because I know IPAC understands the important role of municipal public administration, and in part because I appreciate the importance of connections between public administrators among all orders of government and the way that underscores collaboration amongst orders of government. So AMO will assist with the promotion of IPAC with the municipal public servants in Ontario, and we'll work together to support strong municipal participation in IPAC. The collaboration among orders of government was most remarkably demonstrated over the last 2 years, not least of which through the $5 billion in federal and provincial financial assistance received by Ontario municipalities in support of COVID. For AMO, that was most evident in collaboration between the province and municipalities because of the nature of municipal services in Ontario. But before I describe a picture of that collaboration, I want to provide a few facts and figures related to municipal government in Ontario. So there are 444 municipalities in Ontario, ranging from very large cities to small villages. Collectively, municipalities in Ontario invest more than $50 billion a year in the Ontario and Canadian economies. And 80% of that is own source revenue, with about 20% coming from federal and provincial transfers. More than 40 billion of that figure is invested in what we understand to be the social determinants of health, with financial and social policy dividends for both the provincial and federal governments, including savings in healthcare costs, social services, and justice costs. And that's in part because in addition to the usual municipal services, municipalities in Ontario deliver, manage, fund, and co-fund a broad array of health and human services, including public health, ambulance and paramedicine services, childcare, social housing and homelessness, a segment of the long-term care system, and the delivery of provincial social assistance and related employment services. So cost-sharing arrangements of those municipally delivered provincial programs result in a contribution from municipalities to the provincial treasury of about $3 billion a year. So it's an important relationship, to be sure. And consequently, municipalities in Ontario have working relationships with and are regulated by about 20 provincial ministries. So AMO and our members work very closely and collaboratively with the Government of Ontario. And so when the pandemic began, it was really a shift to focus on collaboration rather than advocacy. And we worked together for a rapid response on urgent policy, regulatory, and legislative changes to ensure the continuity of essential provincial and municipal services, including those directly essential to the pandemic response. And all of those policy changes required information and intelligence really only available at the municipal level. And all of that collaboration was truly at the officials level. Public administrators working together to keep communities safe and to safeguard the economy. If you happen to be at the AMO 2020 or 2021 virtual conferences, you would have heard a very clear and direct shout out to municipal, provincial, and federal public servants for the remarkable efforts and sacrifices and the collaboration demonstrated in the pandemic response. AMO also works very closely with FCM nationally, and we deliver the Canada Community Building Fund program in Ontario on behalf of the Government of Canada. AMO was involved in that, in what used to be called the Federal Gas Tax Program since its very inception, participating directly in the negotiation of Ontario's first agreement alongside the City of Toronto, the province, and the Government of Canada. And finally, as the Executive Director of Ontario's Municipal Association, I have remarkable colleagues in provincial and territorial associations across the country. They and their organizations play an important part in public policy provincially, territorially, federally, and are excellent resources in your respective jurisdictions. And now the other reason I agreed to participate in this session is that I'm an avid amateur cook and rather expert consumer of delicious food. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the star of our show, Yaprak Baltacioğlu. In a distinguished public service career that spans 29 years, Yaprak has had an impact on the direction of government affairs at the highest levels of decision-making. Retiring from the public service in April 2018, Yaprak is one of the most seasoned deputy ministers and served as a trusted advisor to 4 prime ministers. She was Secretary to Treasury Board, Deputy Minister of Transport, Infrastructure and Communities, Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food, Deputy Secretary of Cabinet for Operations. She's currently a director on a number of boards, including the MDA Corporation, Canada Nuclear Laboratories, CSA Group, and Hydro Ottawa. Her voluntary work includes the boards of Institutes of Corporate Directors and the Stratford Festival, and is a distinguished fellow at the University of Toronto's Munk School of Public Affairs and Global Affairs and Public Policy, and as David mentioned, is the Chancellor of Carleton University. So please join me in welcoming Yaprak to the program. Thanks.
So it's time for cooking? Is it?
It is. Over to you.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining. I have never done this before, and I'm amazed that everybody is interested in doing this with us. Well, this is a pretty low-tech event. We have 2 telephones, and at camera number 1 is my very dear friend, Charlotte Dearborn, and at camera number 2 is my daughter, Sam Fomberg, and at the barbecue is my husband, Rob. So you can imagine this is, oh, we also have a Zoom light, so this is going to go well. So we had an hour to do 5 dishes, so we now have about 45 minutes. So we're going to try and get through all of these by 6. And part of this is for cooking, but part of it is that if you have questions about what I'm doing or something about cooking, or if you want to ask me any question about careers, life, whatever you would like to ask, please put it on Zoom chat, and IPAC team is going to monitor that and just pose the questions as they come. So I'm happy to answer. So today we're cooking 5 dishes, very traditional Turkish, well, Middle Eastern, because everybody claims all of these dishes. So I may as well go acknowledge everybody. So we're going to make rice, we're going to make meatballs, kofte, and we're going to make hummus, we're going to make a salad, and we're going to make just a fruit salad at the end. Sorry, 1 hour is not enough to make baklavas or anything serious like that. So that's all we're going to do. And I'm going to start from the things that take most time to cook. So let's start with the rice. Okay, Samantha, now the hands. Okay, so turn your heat on to medium high. And basically what you do is you put on the butter I had suggested that you put on. I'm putting extra because I'm making double batch because we have people for dinner. So melt the butter, making sure you don't burn them. Then you put on the pine nuts, 4 tablespoons, in the recipe, and I'm kind of more or less going to go around that. I actually wrote these recipes because I tested them. So what you have in the recipe is right if I'm not using tablespoons and stuff, because I'm kind of eyeballing it, which is mostly how it works. So I put the pine nuts in there with the butter. So the idea is to get get the pine nuts a little bit of color, but be very careful because they actually burn in a hurry. So I have tried, and we're going to now get it ready for the rice. I have tried many types of rice to make this Turkish rice, and nothing really worked well. Basmati, etc. Beautiful rice types, but they don't always work well. So I use the parboiled rice that reminds me most of the rice that I have in Turkey. But so if you look at the butter is bubbling and the pine nuts are bubbling, so I am going to put in the rice. I'm so organized that I actually sealed this. Okay, well, let's do this.
Yaprak, I'm just going to jump in as well too. You can take all the time you need. We have extra time allotted as well. So if you need
It's okay.
time to do dishes.
I have dinner guests.
Oh, they're going to sample everything that you're making?
Yes, that's the idea. So in your recipe, you have one. I'm putting 2 cups of rice because we need more. Okay, so sorry for all the noise, background noise here. The background noise is my husband, so we're trying to give him a signal. Okay, so the idea is to fry the rice a little bit in butter. But again, this is something you really have to do pretty carefully because rice burns, especially in high heat. But you can see the color of the pine nuts have changed a little bit, and the rice is doing the same thing. So the idea is 1 cup, 1 measure of anything of rice to 2 measures of the same thing. So that's the arrangement for Turkish rice, as long as it is parboiled rice. If it is some other rice, then you have to read the instructions on the package. So we just basically fry it a little bit more. And then, so we put in 2 cups in this, and in your recipe, you put in 1. So you then put in filtered water. I'm putting 4 because I have more people. 3, 4. Okay, so give it a little stir. And the magic of good Turkish rice, according to my grandmother, is always a little bit of sugar. I don't know why, but that's what she says. And then chicken bouillon powder. I said 1 to 2 teaspoons, so you'll know why. So I'm going to put 1. And I'm going to mix it. And I'm going to try it. You should have enough salt. Hold on, I have to get just 1 second. You should have enough salt, flavor to it. So I'm putting my second one, but always taste, because chicken bouillon has a lot of salt and lots of additives and stuff like that. So you don't want to overdo it. So maybe 2 was a little too much, but I think that is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this boiling at high heat, and we have to keep an eye on it. While this is just boiling, we're going to start the basics of the köfte, and we'll come back to the rice because the next step is really important. So I'm going to listen to it in the background boiling. Once it stops absorbs most of the water and craters form. That's the important moment where we have to actually lower the heat way down. But for now, it has to do this. Now we are moving to the köfte station. Okay, so for köfte, I have on the recipe half lamb, half beef. However, you could do half beef, half turkey. You could do all turkey, you can do chicken, whatever meat you want, or you can want all beef. I like lamb because I think that it gives a lot of texture and taste, and it also tastes as authentic as you can get to the köftes. So those are the meats. And in the meantime, I'm listening to the rice. So now we're going to start adding things to it. So we're going to move here. So you can do this in a food processor, but it's for one onion. It's not with all that mess. So I'm just going to do it grated. So you basically grate an onion directly into the meat. Okay, this is a little bit taking time, but I didn't want to do like those cooks on the cooking channel, how they show everything gets done in no time. But actually, you should, if you're cooking with me at least, you should have a sense of, how long these things can really take. So Erin, any questions so far? No?
I don't see any yet, but I feel like people should send photos of what they come up with. I don't think it'll be as Instagram ready as you have it sometimes.
Yeah, Yaprak, it's David Fulford. I'm finding it hard to believe that you don't do this on a regular basis. This looks very professional, the whole camera work and everything. So
yeah, that's just because Sam and Charlotte here have been trained for 5 minutes.
it's amazing.
Okay, this is the hardest part, especially when you're crying. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for garlic, but 1 second. I just have to stop crying.
We have one question. They want to know if you had time to cook like this when you were a deputy minister.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe my daughter can comment.
Oh my gosh, very well fed.
Yeah, everybody has some way of, which for mental health, you need to find things that makes you relax, things that takes your mind away. And cooking for me was always something that I could just come home, do whatever time it was. We will have late dinners and stuff, but I always cooked a meal because it kind of gives you a sense of normalcy that life, however tough it is, you can come home, and even if you make a soup, it's a good soup, and during the time that you're making it, you feel that you have contributed to your sanity because you breathe through it and then focus on it. And that at those times you don't really talk to, you don't really think about work. That's the idea. Now on the recipe, I said that we needed a whole bunch of oregano. Well, there was no oregano in the grocery store, so it's getting dry oregano. And I didn't have all sorts of other things. I have some thyme. I'm gonna put that in. Now, hold on 1 second. I will be back. I'm going to get the salt. And check the rice. Rice is under control. Oh, the important thing. Very, very non-Turkish. So I'm putting gochujang paste. This is a Korean hot pepper paste. I find this makes my meatballs amazing, at least according to me. So that is the non-Turkish edition. Add 1 teaspoonful of salt. By the way, you don't always need to put a lot of salt into the stuff because when you put things like gochujang, etc., which that has a lot of taste, you should enjoy the flavors without salt. Sometimes salt just takes away the whole experience. Okay, so we're going to check Sam is going to go to the rice and check the rice out for a second while I am mixing the meat.
Yaprak, what is your favorite meal to make?
Oh, my favorite meal. Okay, Sam, you can come back. Is there holes in it?
No.
Okay, my favorite, what I love eating. I love eating grilled cheese sandwiches myself.
Do you put a Yaprak flair on it? Like, do you have like a special ingredient for it?
No, but you have to know the story. See, when I was a little kid, all my friends were American kids who lived across from us, and Turkey had a lot of American bases, and these kids were my friends, which is why my English kind of improved very quickly when I was a young kid, although I went to a school that taught in English, but my accent isn't as thick as it could be. So anyway, these kids used to go to this place called PX. I assumed that was the store, and they used to go to some place called CAF, which I think was the cafeteria. Anyway, so I'm this kid in Turkey, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. I have no idea what this is. And we go into this CAF, and they order grilled cheese sandwich and Dr. Pepper, and they were in white cups with striped straws. I have never seen a disposable cup or striped straws or any bread that looks so amazingly white, because Turkish bread was, like sourdough and like Italian bread. Hold on 1 second, I have to check the rice. Okay, we're like, anyway, so I ordered grilled cheese sandwich and Dr. Pepper. And of course, we didn't have Dr. Pepper either. Anyway, so I taste this. Oh, did we lose connection?
No, I think they turned it off because they didn't want to show you walking. They were doing good. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I tried this this grilled cheese sandwich that was so white, and it had the American gooey cheese, a little bit like Cheese Whiz. And I thought it was the best thing in the world. Of course, you couldn't get it at all in Turkey. So when I came to Canada in 1980, the first meal was grilled cheese sandwich, Dr. Pepper, and a little sugar donut. So my favorite thing to eat is grilled cheese. What I like to make is I make things for Sunday dinners. Whatever I do for Sunday dinners is my favorite thing to make. And okay, so these meatballs are kneaded, and you have to kind of slap them around. I think rice is now ready. So you can see in the rice, there's still some water. It is very close, but I'm worried I'm going to burn it. So I bring it down to the bare minimum. So you can see the little holes. So what you do at this particular moment is after you turn it way down, and this is my, we're in Florida, so my stove doesn't cool down very quickly. So I'm going to put paper towel and a lid. And I'm going to let it sleep in the lowest possible level of heat. And this is going to be just fine. But if you have a very exact stove that turns it down, make sure you absorb the water a little bit more, but I think this should be great. Okay, so now is the time to make the custard. The barbecue master should be on call. He's looking kind of wondering what I'm talking about.
Did you have competitions while you were both working? Like who was the better public servant, if you will?
I take the, I refuse to answer that.
We can be biased. We can say it's you, Yaprak.
My husband was the better staff. Always.
Well, do you take the crown as better
Also-
cook? Is that how that works?
Oh, he thinks I was very sucky, but you know. Okay, to shape the koftas, you have to take water in your hands. Now, you can make balls, round balls like this, or you can make it like an egg and make it oval. I'm demonstrating all combinations for you. Or you can make it like a kebab kind of thing. So you make it long. Like this. So you can have whatever you like. So for tonight, I am going to do the round ones because they're the fastest. Okay. That's an errant onion. Yeah, no, ours is a very public service oriented household. I had some mishaps in my life when I was trying to disconnect from work. Sometimes work decided not to disconnect. I think I dropped my BlackBerry in the chili pot once. And I think I dropped another BlackBerry into a soup. So, you know, mishaps happen. Which was good because work suddenly stopped because the BlackBerry was gone, floating.
I think we all have those stories of mishaps with phones at one point or another.
So Erin, no more questions?
Not yet, no.
Neat.
They're all mesmerized by your cooking.
But, or they're thinking this lady is nuts, but that's, that's not possible.
Never, Yaprak, never. Oh, you layer. That's interesting. All right.
Well, because Rob is going to work in batches.
Okay.
So,
Oh, these are going on the barbecue, correct?
yeah, but so now koftas, you can do almost anything with them. You can bake them in the oven. I wouldn't bake them, but you can put it under the broiler.
Mhm.
You can put them in the air fryer, as long as you spray your air fryer with cooking spray. You can cook them in a non-stick pan.
Mhm.
Just make sure that the core temperature is cooked, because you don't want it like raw. So I cooked mine like cooked, not medium rare, because there's lamb and stuff, and
Yeah.
I just basically cooked them. Now, once you cook them, you can do a number of things. I put them, sometimes I make them into round little balls, and I make them spaghetti sauce with a Turkish thing. You can make them with a thicker tomato sauce, tomatoes, peppers. It's a meal. I did that for a friend who was having some trouble here, and her family ate that for like 3 days because it was like a warm meal. So like these are very, very versatile little nuggets of perfection. So.
And do you cook them on the barbecue with the tin foil or right directly on the heat?
No, see, I'm now going to go to the barbecue person.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
No, I'm gonna, yeah. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Oh, stop the video. Okay, sorry, that was Charlotte's. Hold on 1 second. Oh, can you bring the koftas? Charlotte, I'm coming right back. You can stay. Rob, we're ready.
I like the family affair. It brings a homey touch, I think.
There's no way the family affair is not going to, this is not possible alone. Okay.
The weather looks good there. What has it been good today?
Yeah, I'm sorry to show you all this happy weather. So can you see it's like a flat top? Yes. So you can cook it directly on the grate, but it just is not particularly, like they're kind of stick and stuff. So Rob is going to barbecue them now. Okay, now.
Everyone's saying you have a lovely view.
Well, it is a lovely view. I know, we're lucky. Hold on 1 second. Now I'm going back inside. Okay, even the cat is trying to participate. I think she smelled the meat. Oh no, our cameraman is having a health break. Hold on.
No worries.
Okay, and here we go. Okay, so we're just going to clear a little bit of space here. We'll just be here.
I'm amazed at all your different stations.
Well, I was thinking how to do this because it's not simple, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so now we are going to move to the fruit salad station. I had told everybody on the recipe to have pomegranates. Well, turns out pomegranates are not in season here. At least I cannot find it. I went to 6 stores. So I have cut up grapes. I have very beautiful little baby raspberries. And I have very nice blueberries. Now, the good thing about this salad is it keeps, and it's a really good topping for yogurt and smoothie, like not smoothies, but like yogurt things that you make in the mornings. It's wonderful. And Samantha loves them, so I'm making extra. So the magic of this is this drink syrup, pomegranate syrup, grenadine. So you can make this and drizzle it. Not too much because it's like very syrupy. You mix it and let it sit. So I put mint in my fruit salad because I think mint goes well with these guys, but you don't have to have mint. There it is, our dessert. Okay, so rice is done, the meat is cooking, dessert is done. It's time to make we'll make the salad. Okay.
I feel like if I was to make this meal, Yaprak, it would take me hours.
Well, we're working on it. Let's see how we can produce this.
No, you're doing great.
I want to go back outside and see the barbecue.
Do a barbecue update.
So, yeah, you just want to see outside, right? It's beautiful. So this is called shepherd salad, but basically it's the same thing as Greek
They want to
salad.
see the meat. Just gonna show.
Okay, I lost the camera.
The microphone. Leaving.
Yaprak, they muted you in the kitchen.
Sorry.
No worries. We just can't hear what you're saying.
Oh,
There we
sorry.
go. That's all good. They said they wanted
Oh,
to see the meatballs with a sprinkle of the sunset.
So this was a pretty large onion, so
All good.
now the trick will be not to cut myself. That would be embarrassing.
I think I would have a lot of Band-Aids on my hands at this point.
Okay, so that's that. We're gonna have some green pepper. Okay, I actually cut myself, so you have to wait for 1 second. Okay, Sam, talk about the salad.
Why don't we look at some meatballs for a second and the sunset? All right.
Oh,
Some
wow.
meatballs.
You're back.
A
And do we have a
beautiful
time limit
view.
of each side? How long to put on each side?
Kind of guessing.
Okay.
When they start to look a little crispy like that,
Okay.
On a hot grill, 2 minutes aside, 3 minutes aside.
I just don't trust myself. I don't know about anyone else.
okay.
Okay, don't count, don't count. Okay. Yeah, it happens. So we're going to cut the green pepper. Be careful.
Yaprak, do you have a practice or like a routine when you go to take your photos for Instagram for all the meals you're preparing?
What do you mean practice?
Well, you just, they all seem to turn out very well, the photos and the plating of the dishes.
I don't know, it's just our regular meal. It's not
I
just our regular meal.
They just look like so professional that they're done in a restaurant or, you know, the photos are lovely.
Oh, well, maybe I'll get more Instagram followers after today. So how was the conference?
It was
Did anybody-
good. I'll let,
I have a glove on because I cut my hand, so I'm working with a glove. So that's always the safest way to make sure you don't pollute anything.
for sure. It was good. We had some really good sessions for the conference. And talking about leadership, and we had Ambassador Bob Ray was our keynote. So he was very, had some very good words, I think, of wisdom for everyone.
That's amazing. I'm glad that everybody had a good time.
Mhm.
These are not the greatest days of the world.
You know,
A lot of problems.
we were saying to him in the green room that we were glad he could join, knowing that, you know, what was happening today in the Ukraine, and I'm sure it was not a slow day for him.
Oh, it's just unbelievable.
No. And then we had a women in leadership panel as well too, with
What was that?
really amazing, yeah, women. So
That's excellent. So I know I said peel the tomatoes, but my hand is not particularly, it's just, I can't feel the fineness of my knife. So I'm just going to not peel the tomatoes. They're going in as is. So you can put as much tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever you like in here. Like it's your choice, basically. Okay, so that's basically more or less the salad. What we're going to do is the salad dressing. So I don't know what I wrote on my recipe, so I have to check that for a second. Okay. So basically it's again 1:2 ratio. So however much you put lemon juice, you put the double of that in terms of olive oil. So I'm just going to eyeball it, but you have a perfectly great recipe there because I actually tested it a few times to write the recipes for everyone. So, and I'll whip. So that's more or less 1:2. And then you can put salt and pepper. I'm just going to bring the, because I think the pepper's here. There's too much salt.
I like your eyeballing. I am not gifted in that department yet.
Well, no, but I actually gave really good. So you basically shake it around, emulsify it. Before you're ready to serve, you pour it on, mix it up. This is ready to go. Okay, so our last thing is hummus. If I could just, Charlotte, 1 second. I'm just going to just turn it off for 1
Yeah,
second.
they're both off.
Okay, 1 second. We're just going to check some stuff.
So when the camera goes off, this is where the secrets are done.
Okay, 1 second. I just have to drain this thing. Okay, we can. Start back up. Oh, shit. Yeah, start back up. So what we're going to do is put the chickpeas in the processor. And this one, I actually have a pretty accurate recipe because I actually am going to follow it.
Can I ask, do you have a preference on chickpeas?
Chickpeas, so it's just canned chickpeas.
Okay.
Where's the rest of the, hold on, let me just get my recipe. Okay, canned chickpeas. Then you use tahini, 2 tablespoons. And this is a tablespoon measure. It's the simplest measure that you can have. It shows it, it's great. 2 tablespoons tahini. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Can you give me the squeeze, lemon squeezer? Thanks.
Enjoy your lemon squeezer. My mom always had one where it like sat on a dish and you'd have to turn it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my lemon. Okay. Oh, garlic. Okay, it says I say 1 to 3, but I'm just going to put 4 because I like garlic. And then 2 teaspoons full of cumin. That should be. Now, you need some sort of a heat source, like I think, to be spicy. So a teaspoon, but this is up to your taste. Like you can figure out what you want. I will put just a little bit. Then we need about a couple of tablespoons or a little bit more of ice water.
I think you should put a little more chili pepper in and surprise the guests tonight.
Well, Charlotte is one of the guests that she's observing. Now we're going to make some noise. So. This would be the. Yeah, it does need, oh, no, it doesn't. It's fine. Woo. So I'm going to process it a little bit more.
And how spicy can you go? Do you like
Oh,
really
you can go
spicy
as much
things? Or?
spicy, whatever. You know what? Almost you can put almost anything into it. But I gave you the basic recipe. You can put, you can even, like, you can put anything you want. You can toast it pine nuts. You can do, I don't know, carrots, jalapenos,
Beets.
all beets. You can do almost anything. But this is basically how simple it is to make it.
Hmm.
So there you go. And we're gonna out. See, from the Kashmiri, or this is not the Kashmiri, it's just from the hot pepper, so how red it is. There you go. So you should make it look nice.
And how are you with spicy food, Yaprak? Do you like?
I love spicy food.
Yeah.
I love spicy food. So we'll just put some smoked paprika on it. Just so that it looks kind of attractive. And we're going to serve it with homemade pita breads. Okay, Sam, you're the tester. You can take the.
We're all jealous over here.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, come on.
I'm so
Could've
sorry
faked
to all
it.
of you.
Okay, so now, last thing.
Come
Oh,
on.
wow.
I'm
Oh
looking at
my
the
goodness.
So the
What?
last thing is we're gonna check the koftas to see if they are cooked. And I'm gonna show you the rice and then we are done. 45 minutes. Wow, that was good.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Were you this fast when you were working as well?
well, yeah, because you have to, right?
Yeah.
Now look at the rice.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
the
wow.
idea would be right before the end, you put a little bit more butter just on top. That'll kind of seep in. That's ready to go. And the meatballs are right here. They're ready to go.
Oh, wow.
And that is the end of our cooking show.
Oh my goodness.
Someone said, Yaprak, they couldn't find you on Uber Eats. They would order you on Uber Eats even when you're back in Ottawa.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to, like, I'm a home cook. I'm just a home cook. So everybody can be a home cook. And just enjoy cooking, enjoy doing whatever it takes your stress away. This is for me what makes me happy. So, and also it's always fun to nice to talk to colleagues. And I know that you're on the other end. So thank you very much for having me.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this for us. It's been a lot of fun, a little painful looking at the weather there and not being able to taste the food, but you're an amazing cook. I can't believe how fast you did all this. I'm sure this is something that's going on a weekly basis, but however, thank you so much. Have a great evening with your guests. And we hope to see you soon. Stay safe. And I'm really sorry about the snow that's coming to Florida tomorrow. So anyhow.
Yaprak, you need to put it on Instagram. We need to see it.
Okay, when we're serving, I will. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye.
I can